All right, we're looking out to find Jesus in the early chapters of Genesis, and this is part 2 of Noah's drunkenness. So if you're coming to this video and didn't see the last one, see that, then come to this. We talked about how Noah drank from the cup and then went out and fell into this deep sleep, and how that points us forward to Christ. Now we're going to talk about he woke up. It says that when Noah awoke, he knew what his youngest son had done to him. Now, when you're dead drunk, when you drink so much that you pass out naked in your tent and you don't, I mean, when you wake up, typically you're going to be hungover. You are not going to wake up with moral clarity and resolute, but he wakes up and he knows what's going on. How did he know? I don't know. Did someone tell him? Was it that he was a godly man and the Spirit of God was with him and somehow he knew? It doesn't say how he knew, but he knew. And he rises out of the slumber to pronounce blessing and pronounce cursing. And what happens to his sons and his grandson Canaan, all that has to do with how they treated him in his humiliation. He was, when he was naked, when he was in a place of shame, people responded differently, some with disrespect, some with respect. And now you have a risen Noah. You have a Noah that's risen up in power and glory, and he's able to call down historic destinies on family lines. And he says to Canaan, which is Ham's son. Ham is the one who was treating him disrespect. There's some debate on why Noah pronounced the curse on Canaan, his son, instead of directly on Ham himself. A few theories on that. One is that Ham was already blessed by the Lord, therefore Noah couldn't pronounce a curse on him since God had already blessed him. Another is that simply that Canaan was just one of his sons, but he was a lot like his father in many respects. I mean, you see what became of the Canaanites, the violence, the sexual immorality. This is the father of Sodom and Gomorrah. You think that, yes, this son probably had a lot of issues, a lot of sin issues, whatever sin issues Ham had in his disrespect towards Noah's nakedness. Canaan was certainly very similar to his father, if not even worse. And so Noah pronounces this curse on Canaan, a one that, this sin of yours, this will lead to slavery on your part. And then he turns to Japheth, and he turns to Shem, and he pronounces blessing. And the word he gives to Shem, it's kind of an indirect blessing. He said, blessed be the Lord. And he uses, the name of Yahweh, the name of God, not just God, but the name of God. And he says, blessed be the Lord, the God of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. And so he actually blesses not just Shem directly, but blesses Shem's God, that your God will be the Lord. And of course, Shem, he is the father of the Hebrew people. This is where we get the Shem's names, where we get the terms like anti-Semitic. So Shem gave his name to the Semitic peoples. Then he turns to Japheth and blesses and says, you will be enlarged, which historically, you follow the table of nations, most nations in the world trace their lineage back to Japheth. I don't know what the exact, I don't remember what the exact number was, but, something like 70-80%, the peoples of the world go back to Japheth, and then the rest, to the other two sons. So he really was enlarged, but then the next blessing is, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem. Oh, this is great. He shall dwell. Tent, of course, is a very symbolic image used throughout the Bible. In the wilderness, Moses built the tent of meeting where people could go and meet with the Lord. Later, that was turned into the temple under King Solomon. And Jesus, when he comes on earth, he says, destroy this temple, and in 3 days, I'm going to build it back up again. And in the New Testament, we have this image of the tent of the body. The tent of Shem ultimately is fulfilled in the body of Christ that is torn down and then rebuilt. And Japheth, or the nations, they come to the tent of Shem, the body and person of Christ, to meet with God. So just like Noah, he drinks from the cup, falls into this shameful sleep, and then rises again and pronounce blessing or curse. So Christ would drink from the cup of the judgment of God. He would be laid out in nakedness and mockery and shame, and people would either respect or disrespect him in that humbled position. But then Christ rises from the dead. He ascends to the Father, and he's coming back again to judge. And he will separate the nations before him as a shepherd separates sheep from the goats. And on some he will pronounce blessing, and on some he will pronounce cursing, all in relation to how they related to the crucified Christ. And that's what we prepare for. That is what we're looking forward to. That is what we fear in a sense. And we're living for that day. But the good news is the tent is open. Come on in, dwell in Shem's tent. And that is the word we bring to the nations. All right. Well, we're going to be, I think, talking about Tower of Babel next. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe. And we're going to continue on seeing, looking to see how we can find Jesus, his death, his resurrection, the good news, the gospel within these early chapters of Genesis. So see you later. God bless.